Welcome to the Prospect Warehouse Podcast. This is your host, Tim Kanak. You can find me on X at Fantasy Aceball. And today we have the final team of our 30 teams, 20 players on each team. And with us is Doc Eisenhower. Follow Doc on X, Twitter, whatever, at Doc Eisenhower. Can you believe we made it, Doc?
Yeah, man, I barely made it. I was just, I took my family on a little, right after Christmas, hosting both sides of the family. I was like, okay, well, I have some time off here from work. It's just like a good time. It's been chaotic, so let's just go out and keep it going. So we went and did like a big family vacation the last little while. And then, of course, as I did that, two of the leagues that we're in, 30-teamers are just doing their free agency bid. Well, one league's starting up as an auction, and the other one's free agency. It's just chaos. And then anyway, I'm a little exhausted here, so you're only going to get the best takes, even better than ever. Probably some anti-Canadian comments too.
Yeah, dude, 230-teamers at the same time is not easy. I'll tell you, at least one is on Couch Managers. The other, where we're doing free agency on Discord, is like literally Discord. Like, there's just so much going on in that it's really hard to track. But you know, it works. It's working. It's just it's chaotic. It's chaos for sure. Which is good, because the good thing is we at least had a few days off. Now coming back to work tomorrow with that chaos ongoing is going to be a bit of a challenge. And of course, the Angry Baby shirt making its return to the show. Can't go wrong with Doc's Angry Child on his shirt. We did confirm that is Doc's child, not some rando. At one point there, look at that. That's a war cry right there.
Busch Gardens. That's right. It's got a brand new drinking glass from Busch Gardens. It's a huge
nice. Like Tampa, baby. That's a Florida.
No, this was Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh, there's another one?
Apparently. It's really random. It's a random spot. This is where America was founded. Like the Williamsburg, Jamestown area.
And of course, they turned it into a tourist trap thing. So John and I were wondering, we have to get to this before we get to the Blue Jays. Did you literally host both sides of your family simultaneously, or was it like half and then you kicked them out and then you got the other half in?
No, it was all at the same time.
That is, talk about chaos. Talk about insanity.
We're not that big of a family, I guess, but it was her parents and her brother and my mom and my sister. It wasn't that bad. But they literally all lived in our house, though. They all stayed in the house, so I guess that is a little chaotic. Plus, we already have like 2 kids.
Are they friends? Did they get along?
Yeah, they're fine.
Nothing awkward. Did anybody walk in the bathroom on someone else or something like that?
No. I'm sort of think about what I can say here. My wife's father drank a little too much one night and like fell down the stairs, but he was fine. And then my sister really got under my skin one day. You know, that was after Christmas. And so other than those 2 things, it was very smooth. Everyone seemed to have a really fun time, and they want to come back. So I guess we did all right.
That's all right. And my family, when someone passes out, everybody takes pictures of them and makes fun of them the next day, and it like turns into a viral thing through the whole family. So, that's just part of it. You can't be the first one to pass out, man. Frat bro life, sorority life, whatever. It lives forever. It doesn't matter if you're 50, 60, whatever. I had my dad taking a picture of my pass out mom, sending it to everyone in the whole family, making fun of my mom like a month ago. It was like Thanksgiving. And he was sending a picture. Hey, mom passed out early at like 6 o'clock. Check this out. Making fun of my mom. So, that's how you roll. Anyway, Toronto Blue Jays. We're going Canada here. I thought about making a little like it was going to be way too much work. I've never made it like a Grok movie before or whatever. But I thought about doing, like the South Park Canadians all have their heads cut in half. I'm sure you know that as a former Canadian.
Yes.
I thought about doing that with like a pitcher and then just saying like, here, look at this excellent video of Jake Bloss or something. And then he just like has like half of a head. But I definitely got too lazy. So sorry, people. I didn't make that dream come true. So get to number 20 here. Do you know this guy? And I bet you like this name. Yandre Rojas, relief pitcher for the Blue Jays.
No, and I didn't use any of the time to look up anything about him either. So, what do you got on him? And I'll do a little like 5-second research and give you my thoughts. And whatever I say will be like the final answer.
All right, here's what you need to know. He's a reliever who throws in the high 90s, and he had a 24.8 K minus walk rate his last year in 37 innings as a 22-year-old who got to Double A. He was really, really good in A ball and high A, and then Double A struggled a bit, but still really good numbers for a 22-year-old reliever on the year who throws with some high heat and under a 1 WHIP. So he's a reliever, but I think that's kind of interesting.
Fall League was not kind to him, but only 2.1 innings.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, what are you going to do? I'm going to throw up his F scores here real quick. I did not have that ready. So a little rusty here. It's been about 6 days, 5-6 days or something like that since we podcast.
Yeah, coming into the new year hot. I mean,
yeah.
I still got some weight to lose I gained 10 pounds. I was like, why is my face looking all flat in these pictures? I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, it wasn't good. I think I'm looking a little better now, but
that's all right. You're just bulking up like Mac in Always Sunny. Don't worry.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So Yandre, you see a 109 stuff, 115 control, 106 FERA. So pretty solid F scores for Yandre Rojas. 5'10", classic reliever build, shorty. Not a lot of vert on that fastball, but 19.6 swing strike rate. So you can't complain about that kind of swing strike on a fastball. Got anything else on Yandre?
Nothing at all. Oh wait, yeah, I do. Nah, I was just I'll save it for later.
All right. Absolutely nothing. All right. Number 19, Edward Duran. Not related to Jaron, as far as I know. He is a catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Edward Duran is Edward, W-A-R-D, by the way, just in case someone's looking him up. But he is a 21-year-old catcher who hit 275. Didn't really do that much else. He did play in 100 games, but 8 home runs and 7 steals. But 275, 362, 405 slash is kind of decent for a catcher. And he was 21 at high A. So he's not really much pedigree. He's a Venezuelan guy. But he had a good season and popped a little bit on the F scores. So I think that's something worth kind of looking into here for Duran. 77% contact rate on the season, 80% at high A. So at least a decent hit tool for a catcher is sometimes something to watch to see if he can become MLB/fantasy worthy at some point in the future.
Yeah. I mean, both these guys coming off the top, Venezuelans, man. I wonder how they feel about what's going on right now. There's so many. I thought so funny as a baseball guy, Venezuela being attacked and Maduro being taken in. I'm like, oh gosh, what's I wonder how, because some of these people, some of these players, some of these citizens seem to really like the idea. I don't know.
No, dude, I'll tell you, I have the majority of the people that work in my company. I'd say probably half are Venezuelan because I'm in South Florida. And they're all very,
just admitted to hiring illegal aliens, everyone. ICE has been notified. Go on.
My Venezuelan peeps are very, very happy. And all of them all have diplomatic immunity or whatever. But they all
have diplomatic immunity
or whatever the thing is when you refugee status,
okay.
whatever.
Okay, so he's covering his bases there.
yeah, cover my bases. All those guys are refugee status.
There you have it. Edward Duran also sounds like he could have been like a British knight, but he is a 5'11", 210 catching prospect from Venezuela. I don't know, man. Looks like he's back to baseball. He's got a pretty decent numbers. I don't really know anything about this guy, but I'm not seeing too many red flags. And frankly, I guess the bigger question would be, you look at his fielding here. See some of his fielding grades out there. Apparently, he's pretty good at it. I don't know. I haven't seen this high A Venezuelan catcher, but if he can keep up his fielding and keep progressing with this low strikeout rate, high walk rate, decent contact skills, starting to show some pop. Maybe, we'll see, right? Write it down in the deep leagues. Keep an eye on that name.
Yeah, decent walk rate and the contact rate. So sometimes that's all that matters for catcher. Like if you can be a 15 homer catcher, but if you're hitting for a good average, you're at least if you get into the majors, you're at least 15 team 2 catcher league worthy or whatever. So number 18 is Blaine Bullard, outfielder. So Blaine Bullard, he is, one second here as my thing is lagging. So he is in a switch hitting outfielder who was a high school draft pick. This is what you're going to love. And this is what I like about him, because we know really nothing except for the fact that he's 6'2", 180 pounds. And he got paid, bro. Doc, he got paid $1.7 million in the 12th round. That's your type of guy, isn't it? You love those overpaid high schoolers, because you know when that happens, that means that there's something here, because they paid him to stay away from going to college. So I love the size. I love the fact that he's a switch hitter. And I love the fact that this guy got paid not in the 5th round, not in the 6th round, but in the 12th round, he got that kind of money. Very, very interesting. So I don't really know much else about him besides that. High school guy, obviously, and hasn't debuted in the majors yet. Had a commitment to Texas A&M before he took the money. But pretty interesting player to keep an eye on, I would say. And I'll probably get to see him next year, because I get the A-ball Blue Jays in Florida State League.
Yeah, no, that's it's teams put their money where their mouth is, right? That's I've said it before. I'll say it again, right? Look at the signing bonuses. Some of my biggest hits, right? I've been ahead of the curve on Kevin McGonigal, Thomas White, Caleb Bonham. We'll see about Luke Dickerson. He was, a couple of those were my guys last year. These were all names that got big signing bonuses outside the 1st round, and so you follow the money. It's not hard. I've always said I'm not that smart about it. Now, of course, there's a bunch of these guys who get paid over slots, so they're not all going to hit, but it's a good place to start and then do some digging after that. And so, yeah, this guy in the 12th round, you really don't see that kind of money that late. And again, I'm not like an expert on the whole process, but that makes me wonder if how sure they were going to actually be able to sign him. I guess it worked, though. Yeah. I'm reading it right now. That was the largest bonus ever given to a 12th round player. So I'm not crazy in thinking that was unusual. 6'2", 180. He's kind of got like that classic, basically ideal baseball build. So I guess keep an eye on Blaine Bullard, which is a 65 grade baseball name for sure.
Yeah, BB gun. So number 17 here is shortstop Josh Kasevich. So if you're looking at the back of the baseball card, he didn't have that great of a season. But why I like Josh Kasevich is this hit tool really, really pops. Doc, he had an 85% contact rate at AAA this year with a 90% zone contact. Now, the dude has no power. Like a .01 ISO is atrocious. With a 50 extra base hit plus is literally the worst you can do. But he does have good plate skills. You see 17% K, 11% walk, and the dude can freaking hit. So, I mean, like, how dangerous is that going to be? Like a 99.9 90th EV. He did get to a 109.5 max, so maybe there's some better power there at a future date. But the dude can at least get the bat on the ball and a 27% line drive rate on top of that. So maybe he's like a bench slap hitter that just comes off the bench when you need a hit. Like one of those guys, like classic old school, like 90s bench guys who's not a power guy at all, but will just come in and like when you need a big hit, he'll come and get a hit. That might be like, he just always will make contact. So maybe he's that type of guy. Like you don't want it, and maybe he's fast enough where he can't run into double plays. So he's just kind of like old school type. But he was in AAA, 24-year-old with really good contact rates. So despite like a bad season, and it looks like he had some injuries too. He only played in 42 games. Last year, he had in 128 games, he had 296. So 296, 348, 385 last year with 6 bombs and 13 steals. So there is a little something there when he's healthy.
Yeah. Not sure this guy's going to work out at the major league level. You got to have some really clutch tools front and back of the baseball card. I guess I would, if we're going to look for a silver lining here, look to 2024's AAA performance over 41 games, because really that's what you want to look at here. Like his AAA numbers were pretty bad in 29 games this year. No home runs, no stolen bases. Doesn't strike out, takes a good walk, but makes some good contact. But it's just like you got to do a little more. Like he doesn't seem that speedy is my concern, right? Like we talk about how hard it is to make it work for a Chandler Simpson, even who's got freakish speed. or even a Caleb Durbin. There was a lot of doubt around him. Seems to be going away a little bit now. Seems like the Durbinator's here to stay. Potential Hall of Famer. But the hey, everyone's a potential Hall of Famer. But the at some level. But yeah, I would say you keep an eye on him in 30 teamers. But this is just unfortunately, I'm not seeing a path to success here for Josh Kasevich. But that doesn't mean he's not a great guy.
Yeah, it probably is stellar human. Number 16 is Jake Bloss, or maybe Jake Blah at the type of pitcher he is. 97 stuff, 98 control, 95 FERA, kind of like across the board. 381 JAERA, so there might be a little bit more in there than what we've seen so far. He was hurt last year. He only pitched in 23 innings and then had to get some sort of elbow surgery. I can't figure out which one it is. He should be back in the middle of next year, but he was already in AAA at the age of 24. He'll be 25 next year, and that's good for proximity purposes, but he wasn't that great last year. Maybe you can blame that on the UCL, but the stuff in general over the last 2 years, you see we have his arsenal stuff pulled up if you're watching on YouTube or Xvision, but he throws fastball, slider, curve, changeup, sweeper, sinker. So 6 pitches. He's kind of a kitchen sink type because none of these pitches I would call elite. The fastball does have good vertical movement, but at only 93.5. It's not generating a lot of swing and misses. Now, it's not terrible. It's, pretty average-ish, but none of these breakers are anything really great. They're just kind of all like 45 pitches, and he's going to get by just on being like average across the board. Seems like a pretty solid number 5 starter in the future, I would say, for Jake Bloss.
Yeah, I guess that's the dream, right? At some point, you need to log innings. That's why Miles Michaelis has had a career, right? And frankly, Bloss has shown some ability to strike guys out at certain points. I mean, 9K9 in AAA last year, and then honestly 8. He struck out some decent guys, a decent number of guys in his 11-inning audition. He must have been hurt last year. He didn't really play a whole. Oh wait, I'm not even reading this right. No, he played in 2024. So yeah, he was hurt all last year. He played. Yeah, he threw 23 innings.
23 innings at AAA for the Blue Jays, but he made his debut in 2024 in the majors with the Astros.
Yeah, I'm seeing that here
right now.
So anyway, 6'3", 225. Like that's a good frame. You think he'd be more durable though. So if you're going to be an innings eater and you haven't cracked 100 innings in any season ever, it's not great. Doesn't it's a weird profile. Like he's flashed. It seems like he's flashes some level of K potential and then like some kind of command. It just seems like he doesn't really do anything that good, and he's not logging innings. So hopefully he can log some innings. Yeah, he's got a good build, but yeah, it just shows if you can be healthy at the right time, I guess you can make a debut. We'll see. I guess again, yeah, I would be super excited about him, but those 30 teamers arms are at a premium, so keep an eye on him. Maybe he'll get a nomination in our 30 team startup, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I guess we'll see because most of us aren't going to draft. I don't think I'm going to draft any. Minor guys destined for the minor leaguers for the major league squad. I'll try not to until.
I don't think I'm going to draft Jake Bloss in the Blue Jays organization. I think he's probably like. I think those days, the Jays have changed a lot from 2024. It's going to be tough, man. It's crazy. Jose, Barrios, he's like not in the rotation right now. He'd be a starter on any other team in the league, pretty much. Yeah,
that is pretty crazy. Yeah, he wasn't on the playoff rotation, but then they just added some guys too. So Ponce, we'll see.
As of right now, Roster Resource has him on the outside looking in.
That's crazy. Number 15 is Brandon Barriera. So Brandon Barriera was a first rounder. Then he had Tommy John surgery. So basically, he hasn't really played since he got drafted. He's only pitched 26 innings in the minors. So he just came back and pitched 5.2, 5 2/3 innings and 5 stints in complex league this year after the TJ. Obviously, he was terrible coming back, like 15.9 swinging strike, but the 29% walk rate, like command wasn't there in this 5 innings or whatever. But I mean, the dude has pedigree, $3.6 million out of high school from American Heritage down here in South Florida. And Barriera has a lot of stuff. So this dude throws up to 99 miles an hour. when he's on. I don't know how much that's going to be back coming off of the Tommy John, but also has a good sweeper / slider. So he's got a kind of classic arsenal, a changeup curve with the slider, but the slider also gets categorized as a sweeper, so whatever you want to call it. But that's his arsenal, and the dude has heat. So we'll kind of see how he bounces back here. So this is almost a placeholder for him at number 15, kind of assuming that based on his pedigree and what he was paid coming off of Tommy John as a lefty, he will probably start progressing now. And it's almost good, I would say, that these guys get TJ when they're in the minors instead of, like, I feel like a lot of these guys, like Max Meyer, they'll like make their major league debut, or they'll be in AAA like right about to debut and then tear the UCL because they're just like so pumped trying to get to the majors. I feel like it's almost better sometimes for these guys to get it now, so that now he can like actually focus on building up for the next year or two in the minors, instead of like, getting hurt right before the majors and having that like major disappointment. But what do you think, Doc?
It's just tough, man. Again, with the Blue Jays' depth and with him not pitching at all, basically, like he's pitched a total of 27 innings since 2023. Not good. Most of those innings were in 2023. Now, he's still relatively young, 22 this year, but like time's running out in terms of like, you're going to want to see what you got with him, right? And so, yeah, he's probably a reliever at this point. Just get him in there, get him into games and pump his stuff up. Yeah, it's not to say he can't become a starter again later down the road, but I'm just such a believer of these guys who can't stay healthy, or just whether if they're having bad luck or whatever. Get their career going, get them moving up through the chain and facing, because he's only faced low A. He's a 22-year-old and never. I guess if you want to look at a silver linings kind of perspective, I guess he's like a good age for a college grad, college draftee. But yeah, you're going to want to see him ramped up sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a lefty and you could throw 99, you're at least a major league reliever just based on that. So yeah, you could definitely pump him into the majors just based on him being a reliever. Number 14, this is a great name, Yohendrick Pinango. So like that, say that 5 times fast. So Yohendrick Pinango, AAA outfielder for the Blue Jays. He hit 258, 361, 430 this season. Pretty solid plate skills and big time power. 115.4 max EV, 91.9 average EV. So this guy, for whatever reason, even with those exit velocities, only hit 15 homers. I don't really understand that, because it's not like his angles were that bad. But I think with just based on this guy's like natural power, there could be a little bit more here for Yohendrick Pinango. What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, what's he? They call him. So can I see some? Do you have footage on this guy? He's 5'11", 170. I don't buy it.
I'm in the middle of sharing the F scores right now, but I'll find some footage for you while you're talking about him.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Okay, yeah, but yeah, he's not really striking out a whole lot. Takes a walk. Those are the basics, right? Wow, hitting a bunch of dingers. So you gotta love that kind of thing. He's even pretty efficient on the base paths if he continues that. I'm seeing a scouting report calling him stocky. 170 is not stock. He's listed at 5'11", 170. So I'm guessing he's bulked up from there. As a lefty with that kind of power, he's a bit stocky. I don't think he's 5'11". That's why. I think he's like 5'9" or 5'10". I'll show some video here in a second, but I want to highlight his F scores: a 111 power, 100 hit, 110 discipline. Those are all really good F scores. And contact rates.
Yeah, 142 age-adjusted WRC plus. So you have 80% contact, 81% contact with an 87, 88 zone with those kind of EVs. 108.8 90th, 115.4 max. Those are pretty interesting numbers. His problem is that he's not great at angles. You see only a 5.2 barrel, so he's not getting to the best angles. You see his launch angle distribution here is kind of like all over. There's like a lot of negative angles here. You see, that's a lot of negative angles. So he's not getting to optimal angles is his issue, because he hits the crap out of the ball and he's making good contact. It's almost like Yandy Diaz Jr. here is kind of like what we're looking at with this type of profile. I'm going to show some video of him here, Doc, in just a second. If you want to talk.
Yeah, sorry.
While I'm pulling it up. Sorry, I'm not as fast as John at this stuff.
No, it's so I feel like 5 seconds ago the Jays had like kind of no one was really high on their farm system. Now they got a pretty deep one, and a good MLB roster overnight. Yeah, it's a good swing. I'm gonna take a look at this fellow's body too, because he looked stocky there.
It's not him. That's not him.
Okay, yeah.
It's like the guy in front of him on base. Here he comes. Come on.
That's him?
There he is.
He got a little beer belly. Yeah, he doesn't look tall.
No, he's like 5'9" or 5'10", probably.
But he's thick. He's more than 170, bro.
Yeah, he's probably 200.
He's a smaller guy. Yeah, so he's not 5'11". He's pushing that. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a guy who honestly I haven't really heard much about. I'm sure Jays fans know all about. Is he highly regarded? Like, where's this guy rostered percentage on Fantrax?
Not really. He's really not. And I've liked him for a while. Fangraphs has him as their 34th prospect. Which
I don't know what
because
I'm kind of like confused here. I'm like everything seems to be checking the boxes. I guess it looks like his fielding might not be good.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine though. You could
for fantasy.
Yeah, exactly.
It might make it harder for him to find a home, in terms of getting playing time. So I do think that defense does matter for fantasy in that regard. But in terms of like if he's able to at least get up, it might not be with the Jays with how they're competing right now. This might be a guy where if he continues to crush it in the minors, maybe you're seeing him on the move, right? Maybe you're seeing him getting traded for some MLB, some kind of depth.
I think there's a chance that the reason his roster rate and nobody talks about him is his name is not easy. That's a lot of letters to type. It's like Yastinson Garcia's 2.0 or whatever. There's a lot of N's in there, a lot of weird Yo Hendrick, and Jimi Hendrix Penango. I don't know.
Like that.
Here's an easy one. Number 13 is Austin Cates. Austin Cates, I really like, except for the fact that he doesn't have good velocity. Like his stuff is pretty good. 6'1", 200 pounds, 101 stuff, 117 control, 100 FERA on the F scores, 305 JA ERA last year. This is what I really like here, Doc. Look at this. 12.1 inches of vertical movement. That's without gravity. So this dude's rocking like 18 to 20 inches of induced vertical break on that fastball. So that's a pretty sexy vertical movement on that fastball. And then also he's got a splitter with a 19.3% swinging strike rate. And you can see here they actually categorize him. They give him a changeup and a splitter. That's the same pitch. This guy is a 3-pitch guy. He's a fastball, slider, and a splitter, and that's it. So his issue to me is he needs to develop a cutter or a gyro slider or whatever to bridge that fastball and the slider. And if he can do that and then team that up with that splitter, he's going to be pretty nasty because that's a ridiculous ride on that fastball against the splitter. But he's just like 3 pitches will be okay in the minors. But once he starts coming up, that's going to be more of a challenge once he gets to the higher levels of the minors.
I think 3 pitches is okay. I mean, some guys make it with 2. Two's the red flag zone for sure. Like a lot of reliever risk typically. But yeah, man, 3, if you can get it done. I mean, interestingly enough, like, he actually got better at high A, which is weird. Like a lot better. Walked less guys, struck out more. So I'm not sure what happened. Allowed less runs. Like I'm just not sure what happened there. Went from Dunedin to Vancouver.
Yeah, he also his dad is a coach, and I think his dad is actually a coach with the Blue Jays and was like his coach in Dunedin. Okay. I want to say so. That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
I'm interested in the guys who progress like that. I guess he just did not pitch at all last year. So for him to come out here in his first pro season, you want them to get better, right, as the year goes on, and like that's maybe a sign of an ascending talent. We'll see. It's a small sample size, 82 innings, low A, 27 in high A, but it's interesting that he was able to do a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. UNLV, gotta love a dude who can go to college in Vegas and come out alive, right? Oh, there's that splitter. Look at that splitter. Look at this.
One more time.
Nasty. One more time. Whew.
Yeah, solid.
That was nasty. Let's see if we can get a fastball here. No, that's the end of the video. And he's got a stash, dude. Check that out. Yeah, you get rocking the stash. Number 12 is Fernando Perez. So Fernando Perez, starting pitcher with the Blue Jays, Double A. He's out of Nicaragua. You never see anybody out of Nicaragua. What? But he's he pitched 121 innings as a 21-year-old last year. So I know you and your innings, Doc, you're going to love that through high A and double A. 15.3 K-minus walk rate. This guy has really good command. Only a 5.6% walk rate on the season. So he's more of a command type guy than anything else. But Fernando Perez, pretty solid 6'3", 170 pound frame here. What do you have on Fernando Perez with the Blue Jays?
This is an inning eater. When you've got 120 innings already, that's what the teams want to see. He, did seem to struggle in the upper minors last year, but his age 20. He's still 21. So, yeah, it was age 21 season. Yeah, I mean that's young for the level. I think he did pretty well. It seems like he's just a steady guy at keeping the runs off the board. His strikeouts weren't there at all, but they were there at low A the season before. I don't know. I don't really know what his stuff is like, but just looking at the numbers, seems like a guy who this would be someone where you can be like, oh yeah, innings eater, just like steady, like 3 ERA, or in the minor leagues that'll obviously go up, but good command, minimal strikeouts. Seems like he's got a decent frame. Yeah, you don't see a lot of Nicaraguans. That's why I said Nicaraguans. But yeah, it's you don't really see a whole lot of those guys. I wonder what that is, the cultural disconnect. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just where it's at and located in Latin America for whatever reason. Baseball's in some places and then not other places. So it's funny because one of the guys in my office is a Jamaican guy, and he's like, dude, you're obsessed with baseball, and I was like, yeah, you should be too. You're in the islands. He's like, no, here we play cricket. I'm like, that's so weird, man.
Big mistake. Yeah, that is weird. That's another one. That's very strange.
Yeah, they're very British. Jamaicans and Bahamians. Jazz is the one who got away, but Jamaicans and Bahamians are very British. Whereas a lot of the other islands have that baseball, World Baseball Classic thing going on. So Fernando Perez, you can see a 3.40 JA ERA, 121 F control is insane. He throws a mid-90s fastball, but it kind of hovers more in the low 90s, but it can get up to 95. You can see that's actually a pretty decent fastball, at least at low A. 9.7 inches of vert, 14.8 swing strike rate. The slider is his premier pitch, 19.3% swinging strike rate on that slider. So pretty solid slider here, but he's
good for him
cutter, slider change.
Increase that usage because he's leaning a lot on the fastball for a guy who's got a 92 mile per hour fastball.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, also those are his numbers though at low A. So this is only his low A from Florida State League. So he may have changed some of this as he's gotten up to double A in the last year now. But that was his pitch mix at low A, and maybe there he's like, these guys suck, and I can just dominate them with command on my fastball, so there's no point throwing anything else. So, very,
or maybe
very
the team just says, hey, work on your fastball. Throw it a lot more.
Yeah, you never know with the minor leagues sometimes. Let's actually throw up some video real quick. I found some video of him. Let's see how he looks real quick here. Fernando, let's fast forward. All right, here we go. Oh, yes, look at that smoke. Woo! That was a curve. All right, Fernando. All right, yeah, not much vertical movement on that thing, but here we're getting at least a decent look of him.
Yeah, it's a loopy curveball. I like those.
Yeah, it's a loopy curveball. He's got a gyro slider too. Is what his slider is. So, or cutter or whatever you want to call it. Woo, that was a good one. So that's Fernando Perez, and then we'll get to number 11, Jake Cook. As I'm trying to close this video down simultaneously. Why don't you talk about Jake Cook while I'm trying to multitask here, Doc?
Man, you gotta give me a heads up like that. This is not good.
All right, Jake Cook is an outfielder with the Blue Jays. He was drafted this last year in the 3rd round, and he did not debut, but he did have some decent numbers. Just not really power or speed. He's a hit tool guy. But he had 350, 436, 468 out of Southern Mississippi. Obviously, with college, we don't have a full gamut of statistics on him, and he didn't debut. But he's supposed to have a really good hit tool, and he's also supposed to be super fast, despite only 3 steals.
Yeah, you said no speed, but yeah, it looks like he's
Fangraphs gives him an 80 grade speed. So.
That's a crazy level of speed. That's what I was looking at here.
Yeah, I think he was one of the highest scorers in that when they do that the combine thing. But he's got a good hit tool. That's 100%. So we'll see if he can translate some of that natural speed into base stealing, because 3 stolen bases and 5 caught stealings in college ain't great. But we'll see what Jake Cook has for us once he's able to do that. But 6'3", 185. So he might be able to get into some more power. Maybe he can get into like Jake McCarthy-ish power as a big lefty outfielder. But, where at least he can hit like 10, 12 homers over a full season of at-bats. But it'll be interesting to see how Jay Cook develops. But with 80 grade speed and a really good hit tool, I think he is one to watch.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the picture that got up for him here on the pipeline. Chiseled face too, got high cheekbones. That's worth a lot. And good jaw. Yeah, this guy he looks like an absolute unit. Actually, really though, he does look like he can put on more muscle. So maybe that's it. He's just skinny. I wouldn't call him skinny, but 6'3", 185. That's great. But just from what I'm seeing from this image alone, like you can get him up to 205 probably. And maybe that gives him some pop because apparently he has no pop, which is weird. Again, he looks like an absolute unit. That's so crazy though, man. This guy's Pipeline has him on 80 speed too. Interesting. So he actually focused on pitching and got up to 96 on his fastball. We're just plagiarizing Pipeline on this podcast. So apparently, he was a pitcher. This is so fascinating. This is a guy who I wasn't really paying attention to at all, to be honest. So it says here he doesn't know how to steal bases. But this is crazy. So 6'3", 185. Again, go look at pictures of Jake Cook, the Abercrombie model, just from this one picture. Maybe it's just a great angle or something. But go look at that on your own time when your wife's not around, And and 6'3", 185 though. I'm just thinking, man, I'm starting to put this guy on a few watch lists, I think, because this when you see this kind of guys come up here, they're super raw, but they have the physical tools. Plant the flag, right? Like it could, and especially, like he's not a prep kid, so he's not going to have as much excitement around him. He'll get older faster. He's probably going to need to take a few years to get good. So this could be like a guy who's debuting at 25, 26, 27 years old. But I mean, the Jays. Why
there you go, Doc. There you go. Look, he's even got the jersey is unbuttoned like 2 buttons in this picture for you.
Yeah, that picture there is not flat. Maybe he has a good angle on Pipeline. On Pipeline, he looks like a unit. He's got his chiseled face and everything. Pull up the Pipeline picture so I'm not looking like a crazy guy. Yeah, no, he's just a grinder. Look at you gotta go to Pipeline. Pipeline gave him the best picture of his life. You can never change. He looks like Forrest Griffin from that other picture. If you're an old school UFC fan.
Dude does have a jaw. I'll give you that.
No, you can go to Pipeline.
Jake Cook, Blue Jays
Pipe. Just go to the all, and he'll probably pop up there.
Here we are Googling pictures of jawlines.
Well, you're doing all the wrong search. You got to go to all.
All right.
Blue Jays top prospects. Last time I ever give a guy a compliment, because now he's not backing it up in his other pictures. Look at that picture. Look at that picture and tell me I'm not vindicated. That's the best picture of this man's life.
That's him at the combine right there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other one he's a UFC wrestler. Anyway, the cauliflower ears. So anyway, Jake Cook, Mississippi boy. Honestly, though, I am going to put that guy down because, he could end up doing nothing and having like a 40% contact rate. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, he does have. He's a good hitter in college, man. He had 350. So next on the list, number 10 is second baseman Adrian Pinto. This is going to be a Doc special right here. This guy is 5'6", 156 pounds, Doc, and he was hurt last year. So give him a little bit of credit. He only played in 19 games, but he had 7 home runs last season in 19 games for this little baby, 5'6". And let's see here. Let's scroll down. 78% contact rate, 136 extra base hit plus, almost a 1,000 OPS for Adrian Pinto. This is little Mighty Mouse here. 100 hit tool, 107 discipline, 117 speed. So Pinto, he had a lost season. He got hurt with an unspecified injury. He missed the rest of the season. But this dude was raking when he was healthy. 46.7% home run to fly ball rate is absolutely asinine. So what do you think about Adrian Pinto?
I had to do some write-ups for this guy for for Prospects Live when I'm cheating on y'all. Here's the write-up. I'll do it. I'll just announce it. Pinto is starting to make Chase DeLauder look like an Iron Man. The most games he's ever played in American Pro Ball were 47 back in 2022. And the number of games he has played has shrunk year after year, totaling only 19 in 2025. This is not common for a hitter and could be something that signals an inability. This is so horrible, and could be something that signals an inability to play professional sports. I mean, like, I don't take joy when I say that. That's a crazy line, just like throwing that in there. Pinto is listed as a pint size 5'6", 156 pounds, but some digging has him up to a slightly larger 5'8", 175 pound frame. I think I got that off like some Jays Insider. Which could help explain the 7 homers he bashed in only 19 games this past season. It's enough to stash him in 30 teamers to see if these past 4 years have all been bad luck, but there are likely better options. And that's where I'm at with him. Yeah, it's straight up. Like, this guy's body doesn't seem to be holding up. And I feel that way with Chase DeLauder sometimes, but at least Chase DeLauder's like got this size and athleticism that we're seeing but it is weird. It's that you can't ignore him completely because that's like a crazy amount of power he showed. It's very tantalizing.
Yeah, for sure. That's why he's number 10, is just because this is ridiculous what he did in his little short sample size here. Number 9. Yeah, number 9 is Victor Arias. So Victor Arias
because of his height.
Yeah, 5'6".
You have to laugh more when I make good puns and jokes. There you go.
There we go. Victor Arias, a 104 power, 98 hit, 100 discipline, 109 speed. Very well-rounded player here. Low 70s contact rate, but pretty decent plate skills. 108 extra base hit plus. Does run a little bit. So you see 18 steals at a 78% stolen base clip. That's fine. With 7 homers. And this is only in 102 games. So maybe he's like a 10-20 guy. I was actually talking to Jeff Ponce about who the best Arias is. And we were both kind of saying that we think that this may be the Victor Arias might be the best Arias because there's like a million Arias out there. But then again, Jeff has also seen him a bunch of times because he's up like in his area. But Victor Arias is, I think, a decent name to watch. Like, to me, like nothing, there's not like one elite tool here, nothing like kind of crazy, but he's very solid across the board. And I think he's a major leaguer, and that counts for something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how's his defense? Defense looks, he's got a bad score on defense, but that can always change. Not always, but it can change. Yeah, again, he's not striking out too much, taking good walks, but he has no power at all, and he seems to not be able to steal bases very effectively. So for fantasy purposes, going to ignore him completely and recommend that everyone else do the same.
Hey, so
at least you know when I'm hyping a guy up, it's like I'm telling you the truth, because some guys will go out there and say everyone is good. And it's like, this guy could be good enough to be a bench guy in Major League Baseball, but that doesn't mean you need to be using a farm slot on him.
Yeah, very true. Unless you just need a 5th outfielder in a 30-team league or whatever. But, it depends on your league size. Number 8 is RJ Schreck. He's actually really good. I saw him when he was doing he got hurt this year, and he was in A-ball doing a injury stint or whatever. So I saw him a couple games. 25-year-old. So well-traveled, basically played through every level. This guy's ready for the major leagues. He's a really polished hitter. You can see a 114 power, 101 hit, 115 discipline, 94 speed. Only reason I ding him, honestly, is because of his age. But he should be in the majors, like 80% contact rate, 83% zone contact rate, 16% walk, 21% K rate, 150 extra base hit plus. He had 18 bombs this year. And like I said, that part of that is that he was hurt. So this guy's just a really good hitter. And like, I feel like if he was in most organizations, he would have already come up and been promoted at this point in time, just because he's been so good. And he does run a little bit too. So he had 9 steals this year, 89% stolen base success rate with the 9 steals. You could see here, these EVs are only going to be from his A-ball and AAA. We were not going to get any of his AA data. So there is like missing data in here. But 25% line drive rate, 21% air pull. So he's getting to good angles too. So pretty interesting player, RJ Schreck. I think that he should be in the pros this year. I mean, he spent 58 games at AAA last year. So I think he's good proximity, like random deep league play. In the case of some injury, he might get some starting time here. So, like if Bardra gets hurt or something like that, he might just fill right in.
Yeah. I also wrote this guy up. I'll spare you the. This one's a bit more long-winded, so I won't talk about. Made a Shrek joke, not to be confused with the big green ogre. Who's this guy? Why you let me write things? Yeah, he's got great plate discipline, decent home run totals for sure. But I gotta ask you, he's got bad batting averages. So how is his swing decisions from what you can tell in the numbers or what you've seen with your eyes?
Really good, actually.
Is he swinging not enough? Like, why are his batting averages low?
So I saw him, I think 2 or 3 games. I think 2 games this year, and I want to say that I saw him win like 3 challenges against the ump. like he had like three challenges, boom, 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 and I was like, man, this guy's. I just remember thinking when I saw him, I was like, his eye is way better than these minor league umps.
Oh,
like,
his eye is definitely legit, but like, is he too passive? Is it too good?
Swing rates are 41%, so that's not terrible. Usually I get concerned when it's in the 30s. I think average is like 46. So it's not terrible. He is swinging a little less than average, but it's not like concerning where it's like, hey, dude, just get the bat off your shoulder. Like it's not like a concerning rate.
What was his injury last year?
I can't recall.
Because his EVs are not good, which makes him and he's got a very pull heavy approach. So I'm wondering if he's got some Isak Paredes to him. He's just yanking balls out of the park. It's obviously working. So like that doesn't mean it can't translate to the major leagues, but I don't think he's like
broken hand, man. Okay. He got hit in the hand with a pitch.
So there you go. Maybe that would. So that's actually very good to know because that means that the EVs definitely could have been affected by a broken hand. I have to look at his games. I don't freaking know if he played afterward. It's still like I think it's 86%. Sorry, 86 miles an hour was his average EV last year. Like that's sub-Durbin, I believe. So not a ton of huge pop for despite the totals. So if he finds his way into a good ballpark for that pull, he's pulling the ball no matter what. But it'll be interesting. I do think that it's going to be tough to crack the Jays, but the Jays are weird anyway. Like they'll just put guys like Ernie Clement in there and they become a hero anyway. So maybe it works out. The fans will, if he succeeds in the MLB level, the fans will love that name.
Yeah, for sure. Number 7 is Juan Sanchez. So DSL guy here. We have nothing to show on Data Warehouse for him, but this dude rocked the DSL. Just keep in mind he had a 400 BABIP, 399. So, but he had a 341, 439, 565 slash with 8 home runs and 4 steals. Only a 36% ground ball rate, so he was getting the ball in the air. 10% walk, 17K, only a 9.9 swinging strike rate, so you'd love to see that. And probably most important in the DSL, a 78.5% contact rate is really good for a lot of these DSL hitters. So this is Juan Sanchez, 6'3", 180-pound shortstop / third baseman. So he played 21 games at short, 26 at third. So that's why he played both. And I know Chris Blessing freaking loves this guy. Like he's like obsessed with this guy. So Juan Sanchez with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, 6'3", 180. Good start, with these kids who I don't, I'm just like anything can happen. Anyone can win. It's just DSL is crazy. I think people see tools like that. You see the frame like that, and you can dream on it, but we'll see what happens, man. It's just such a long road ahead. So I don't have much to say about the DSL guys.
Yep, for sure. Number 6 is Ricky Tiedemann. He's going to be back finally. Like he came back right at the end of the year. Didn't really do anything because it was like a few games, like what was it, 1 game or something like that he pitched in. But Tiedemann has been hurt for what seems like forever. Seems like this guy's been around forever because he popped at such a young age. But just a reminder on Tiedemann, 6'4", 220 pounds. This guy finished right outside of my top 150. I think I had him at like 156 or 155 or something like that. I posted my honorable mentions in my updated rankings on X, so you can find that. But that score still love him. 127 stuff, 104 control, 110 FERA. And he should be pretty close to the majors at this point, too, coming back from injury. He's a little bit older now, but assuming health with him, should be pretty interesting because he was on the precipice prior to his injury. Like I just said, like I'd rather have the guy get hurt early because now he's going to be 23. He was in AAA before already as a 21-year-old. So it'll be interesting to see if the command can return because he was also pitching to like a 20 to 24% walk rate last year in his 17 innings or whatever. Or that was in 2024. So he was bad before the injury that year. So who knows how long he was actually injured before they actually were like, hey, your UCL's bad, man. Because he was really good before that. But Tiedemann, very interesting pitcher, obviously. Excited to have him back. Fastball, sweeper, changeup. What do you think about Tiedemann long term? And like, are you buying back in on him now that he's healthy again, Doc?
Well, I was throwing red flags around him before when he was being talked about as like this unbelievably elite high level prospect, like the next top thing. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I guess I see some red flags here in terms of durability, and well, here it is. Right now, I'm on the other side, and feel bad for the guy. Right, and I never root for it. I want to be wrong about those situations. Baseball Reference, you go to look him up. It looks like his career is over. Like he's not he's not bolded anymore. It just says like he's faded away, like the guys who played in 1910. Because it says parentheses 2022 to 2024. Sorry. He's a 6'4", 220 lefty. Listen, Ricky, you should be okay. Again, it's a situation where we need to see it's not we need to see what you got. He's still super young. How is he 22 right now?
He's 20. He's going to be 23.
Yeah, he's 23. He'll play most of next year as a 23-year-old. Still really young. Long road ahead. But I think that there's going to be an appetite to see him in the majors, and like that is an arm. Like look at Trey Savage, right, where you throw this kid into the bullpen this year and just have an electric option. I mean, I like Jeff Hoffman. I think he's actually probably going to remind everyone that he was really good for most of last year, and will be the closer. But you talk about like potential closer replacements. You know, maybe come back to this clip later on if Ricky Tiedemann. Imagine this kid comes in and ends up the year as the closer for the team. They're looking pretty deep all of a sudden.
Yeah, for sure. Tons of arms in this organization. They traded a bunch too. They traded Rojas. They traded Cal Stephen. Like they traded a bunch, and they still are good to go. So that's Ricky Tiedemann. Number 5 is Gage Stanifer. So Gage Stanifer actually made my top 150 pitchers. So Stanifer is a 3-pitch guy, and he has some bad command. That's what kind of gets one over on him. But Stanifer, I'll throw up his F scores as I'm talking about him here if I can see if I can multitask. But Stanifer, I gave him, Doc, a 60 out of 70 on his sinker, which is his primary fastball. He can get it up to 100 miles an hour. He's also has a gyro slider, which is like a death ball, basically. It has that pitch has a 91.7% ground ball rate on it, which is like, what? And then his third pitch is a changeup, which is bad. So really, he's like more like a 2-pitch pitcher than a 3-pitch pitcher for Stanifer. With, like I said, like not great command, but the fastball has 17 to 20 inches of induced vertical break. You can see a 13% swinging strike rate, and then the slider 17.9. With just ridiculous ground ball rates that he had on it in 2025 here. So Stanifer, I comped him to Jose Soriano. He has a 117 stuff, 104 control, 113 FERA. Only a 90 durability because he wasn't really pitching a lot of innings, but 333 JA ERA. So I'm pretty interested in Gage Stanifer, obviously, to get him in my top 150 at 135 on the list. What do you think about Stanifer?
Yeah, I guess he gets lost in the shuffle here. Doesn't have that brand value on his name yet, I don't think. But seems to be highly respected. If you're gonna have 2 pitches to lean on, fastball, slider is a good one to do. Yeah, I mean, I'm not super well versed on the guy, but it's so weird when you see this organization right now. It is because of the embarrassment of riches. It's almost like, when are we going to see this guy? But you have to remember that pitchers will get hurt. And is this? He spent how much of last year at AA?
He was at AA. Let me pull that up real quick.
Both type it in. Who's going to get it first?
Yeah.
Only 8 innings, so probably not on the precipice. But hey, you start off the year at AA. You keep the good times rolling. Maybe you calm down with the command. I don't like sitting here saying everyone's going to be a reliever. 4 walks per 9 is fine. He's been doing that, up until AA. He's pretty young, so this maybe is not a guy you're going to see this year. Hey, from Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay, all right. West, yeah, I know this. Yeah, that's right. It's my American home, we'll say. So now, I'm actually now all of a sudden the biggest Gage Stanifer fan because he's from Indiana. I'm a very bad Hoosier, obviously.
Yeah, so look at this. Boom. Here's his pitch it.
Yeah, he's the best pitcher in the organization now. Nothing to do with him being from Indiana, but just the fact that he's from Indiana. So now we like him. He looks like look at his hair. He looks like Max Clark out there. Indiana's just got the Aryan race going right now.
They're taking tips from what was that? They're saying that Epstein Island was doing Nordic genetic breeding or something.
I don't know, dude. That seems like something you know too much about, if you know what I'm saying. I want to see the flight logs for Tim Kanak, to be honest. After that kind of comment.
Yeah, I just listened to way too many podcasts. I was listening to Martyr Maid's podcast on.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's Gage Stanifer. Number 4 is a guy that I've seen. It's Johnny King. So I've got Johnny King at 128 in my
Johnny
ranking.
King, 70, great name. Go on.
Yes, for sure.
I'm getting my 4th win of the day. So, folks, we'll start talking over Tim.
That's all right. We're trying to close strong here. Johnny King, I saw him in person. I actually saw his first ever start in Pro Ball. So, yeah, yay for me. I saw his first start. So, and if you want to find it, it's on X. I've got video from directly behind home plate of his first start, his entire first start. So, Johnny King has got a 120 F stuff, 94 control, 107 FERA. Let me pull up his F scores here as I'm talking so you can see what I'm talking about if you're watching on YouTube or X. And 6'3", 210 pounds. So Arsenal grades, he's got a fastball, sinker, cutter, slider, changeup. So 5 pitches. The fastball, I gave him a 55 out of 65 on. Sinker, 55 out of 60. Cutter, 50 out of 55. Slider, 45 out of 50. The changeup, I only gave him a 35 out of 50 because his command on the changeup is quite terrible. As you can see from here, from the Arsenal, only a 42% strike rate on that changeup. So definitely needs some work on that. Only 10% swing strike rate too. But you can see his curve is his best pitch right here if you're looking currently. But I like the fastball sinker combination. I think those are his best pitches. He's got really good run on that, or a ride on that fastball. So he's got a lot of induced vertical break on that. It's kind of like a mid-90s fastball right now. And he is a lefty. So you have to keep into consideration that he's throwing mid-90s, but he's a lefty. And my comp for him was shades of Carlos Rodon. So that's what I've got on Johnny King. What do you think about Mr. King here?
Man, he's got some real intriguing factors. How old is he?
He is only 19, I want to say. Yeah. He was a high schooler.
I feel like his buzz was really high early in the year. I don't know what, I guess he's far away. He's still only 19 years old. So he played a lot of last year until July 26th as an 18-year-old lefty, 6'3", 210, and out there whipping gas, striking out tons of players. So he'll probably get up to high A at least this year. He needs to work on that command. But, he was crushing the command at the rookie level in complex. But then, low A, 7.2 walks per 9. And I'm going to stick with walks per 9 because I like that. But, 15 strikeouts per 9. It's got a certain panache, a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, look at that strut. You can tell. Look at this guy. I like this dude. Yeah, this guy's cool. I think he's got huge upside. He's just so far away right now. This is look at that. That's fun. He's fun to watch. Look the way that just kind of fell in there. So big. I'm pretty high on Johnny King apparently. From maybe the whiskey's just hitting. I don't know. Slurring the words a bit more. But I like Johnny King. Honestly, Stanifer is probably the next guy up after you Savage. Now that Savage is up. But Johnny King goes to high A, crushes it, goes to double A. He could be up next year if he just really crushes it as a 20-year-old, right? Which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, don't forget not
2026, more like 2027 is what I mean, next year.
Yeah, don't forget Tiedemann and Bloss. So
Blas is the most mid guy in the history of the world. Tiedemann Square. He's probably a reliever to start this year. So we'll see if he can get those innings in the right place. We'll be rooting for him.
yeah, for sure. Number 3.
You have Johnny Kingstanding ahead of both them, so you agree with me, actually.
Yes. Number 3 is Arjun Nimala. So Nimala, he had a really, really bad second half. I've got him at 97 overall. Arjun Nimala. Now he fell in my rankings from 47 to 97. So 50 spot dip here in my rankings.
You're missing an M on his Nimala. That's disrespectful.
No, I already know that on this thing. I've got it correct on my write-up though.
Okay.
So sorry, Mr. Arjun. But have a more American name if you expect me to spell it correctly. 115 power, 97 hit, 97 discipline, 108 speed, 143 age adjusted WRC plus for Nimala. I'm gonna pop him in on the F scores while I'm talking about him here. But hit tool, I only gave him a 35 out of 45 grade. Plate approach a 45 out of 50. The power 50 out of 60. The speed 55 out of 50. So like he's really like right now like leaning all power. It's almost like a Troy Tulowitzki type profile because like power is like the calling card at this point. And he's just very volatile is the biggest problem with him really because like he'll have a really good half and then he'll be terrible for a half. And so basically like he started his career awful and got sent from A ball back down to complex and he just disappeared. And then he came back and he was really, really good. And then he was really, really good at the beginning of 2025. And then in May, he just took a crap. It was terrible after May for the whole rest of the year. So, yeah, he's got a lot of pedigree. Yeah, there's a lot of power for a shortstop, but there's going to be some ups and downs. He's a high school guy. I think he's going to take a bit longer to develop based on what we're seeing. So he's going to be a slower development guy than some of the other, kind of like pop shortstop types. So that's where I'm at on Nimala right now.
Could you pull up some tape of him? I feel like when I've seen him swing the bat, I'm like, how is he generating power here? I'm wondering, does he pull a lot? I haven't looked at his profile.
Yeah, I'll pull him up.
Yeah, because like he looks like he's more on the lean side than anything. I'll tell you what, the number one thing that no one's either allowed to say or had the thought to say, but I grew up in the Toronto area. The Indian population is like skyrocketed. My suspicion here was, are they doing this for the ticket sales? Straight up, right? Because like that's like I know that if Arjun Nimala cracks the big leagues, there's going to be a huge population of Toronto who's just going to come to the ballpark just to see Nimala. So my concern from a fantasy perspective was, are they going with economics over necessarily talent with where they're getting him here? That was just something I was always – no one's ever said that because they're probably scared, but that's just someone who's got the insight there. Yeah, so I want to see him hit a home run even, like if possible. Because I feel like I remember his bat speed – like his swing doesn't – I'm not a huge swing analysis guy, but I'm wondering, is this going to completely translate?
That wasn't him. I said that wasn't him.
No. Yeah, he's still definitely on the leaner side. It's just not my guy. The contact rate's not great. I'll tell you what's good though. Here's the good side. 17 stolen bases, only cost him 3 times. So at least we're getting some stolen bags here while he figures everything else out. It's a really weird profile, right? Because like this year he actually cut down the strikeout significantly on the whole season. Still super young. It's just I don't know what to think here. I feel like I'm looking at his numbers and I'm looking at the player. Like, what's my prediction here? I just don't think he's this like 25 or 30 home run bat people are maybe expecting. Maybe you get to 20 home runs, but like that's the interesting part because he's starting to steal bases. If he can be 20-20, that's fun. But maybe like an Anthony Volpe profile. Maybe that's it. I know they're not like the same player, but in terms of the statistical output, like I predict a very volatile batting average. I guess I'd like to say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's gonna be like a 230. I feel like you're gonna get more like a Dansby Swanson-ish.
Okay,
maybe a little worse Dansby Swanson,
yeah.
where he's like 230, 240 with like 20 bombs, 10, 15 steals, something like that.
That plays. It plays, especially in 30-teamers, but like it plays across all leagues pretty much. So, yeah, probably a major leaguer. Going to take some time. Again, Toronto is going to be if he makes it, the people of Toronto are going to go wild. They'll make a lot of money with Arjun Namala. Argent is the French word for money, by the way. So,
oh, nice. Money Namala. Number 2 is JoJo Parker. So JoJo Parker, I know you like JoJo. JoJo Parker is number 49 in my prospect rankings. Obviously, like really good swing. I comped him to, I put Roman Anthony-esque light, like just to tell you, hey, the light version, swing mechanics, because he's got similar swing mechanics, I think. 45 out of 60 on the hit tool for me, 50 out of 55 on the plate approach, 30 out of 55 on the power, 50 out of 50 speed. All that's all based off of high school video and like stuff like this combine stuff that we're seeing, because he has not played in the minors yet. So, you know, there's a lot just kind of like of guesswork there from me, since I haven't seen him in person. He has no stats in the minors. It's only high school stats. And then we've got stuff like the combine to look at and kind of judge him based off of. So JoJo Parker, that's where I'm at on JoJo. You can see MLB's grades on him right there on the screen. What do you think, Doc? I know you're a big JoJo guy.
Yeah, you know, Kevin Griffin, Connor's dad. Maybe we should get him on this show, huh? Connor's dad. Yeah. Maybe see if Connor will come on. I should have probably been doing that this whole offseason, but yo, I'll tell you this right awesome. now. No, text me this week and tell me to talk to Connor's dad, because I will forget. But yeah, if we're gonna do it, it has to be sooner, because I'm sure Connor's gonna be very focused on cracking a major league roster this year.
Yeah.
So yeah. He was a big fan of, the reason that's relative is JoJo is also from almost said Minnesota, from Mississippi, which is very funny. Like as soon as that happened, I was like, hey Kev, are they fired up to go to the land of the snow from the deep south? It's such a funny culture shock, I'm sure. But JoJo, I think people are getting a little carried away. I still think Ethan Holiday is the top bat to pick here. I may be wrong. I'm not like that confident about it, but I think that JoJo will be really good. I think he might be. I think he's my bet to be the third best bat in this class after Ethan and Eli Willits. But I think those guys are going to be really good. So like JoJo could be right up there. He's definitely more pro ready in my opinion than Eli Willits, just because of like the age and build. When I say age, I'm pretty sure like Eli Willits just turned 18 like today or something like that. So he played, I think he's got a December birthday as a 17-year-old. So he just turned 18. JoJo is like really well built. So he's got less filling out to do. It'll be interesting. Obviously, it's not going to happen right away, but this is someone who wouldn't shock me to rise up in the J system. And yeah, I mean, if you don't like the Blue Jays, I mean, heck, it's going to be so interesting in the AL East, because I wasn't sure if this was sustainable from this past season with the Jays, but I think they're starting to build something. And if you're a Yankees fan, if you're a Red Sox fan, if you're an Orioles fan, you know, you're like, like this is going to be an amazing division. Like, sorry, Rays, you guys got to like just lay low for a while, because I know that for years they've gotten the Rays for years have gotten by just grinding, kind of doing what the Jays have done. But now the Jays have quietly been building from within, and now they're putting money on the table. So it's going to be a crazy thing to watch. So I'm just kind of going way bigger than JoJo Parker here, but it's like even when this era is over, you're going to get a JoJo Parker coming up. So, and a John coming up.
Yeah, they got a lot of free agents. It seems like they might get Kyle Tucker too. So they've been adding a lot. They're going all in. I love that when a playoff team uses the money and uses it to infuse even more into the team instead of just like hoarding it and be like, yes, look at all the money now that we have. So it's actually pretty awesome that they're doing that. So if you're a Blue Jays fan, your owner is doing things the right way. You should be very happy with your ownership of that franchise. Number 18 and overall and number 1 on the list is Trey Savage with the Blue Jays. So pretty easy decision here. He just completely dominated in the playoffs. But Savage, I'm going to bring up his F scores before we look at some video of him because they were absolutely ridiculous. So this season, a 132 F stuff, 116 control, 119 FERA. That's only in the minors. 172 JA ERA. His major league F scores, he has a 112 stuff and a 106 FERA. We don't have a control number on him because we didn't have enough data. But the comp that I threw on him a while ago was a righty Clayton Kershaw with a splitter is what I put. But Arsenal grades, he's got a pretty sick mid-90s fastball. I get up to 97. I threw 55 out of 60 on that. The slider is 86 to 89 miles an hour, 55 out of 60 on that. The splitter is a 70 grade pitch in my mind. He's got the curve, which is also AKA death ball, a 45 out of 50. And then command is 40 out of 50. I think that he can have like average-ish command, maybe even get to better command. One thing to keep in mind is that he, as a splitter first guy, or as like a premier splitter as your breaking ball guy, you have to be concerned about the splitter coming and going. It happens with like almost every pitcher, right? Like anyone whose primary pitch is a splitter, there's always like a 1 year where they just lose complete command of the splitter and they suck for like the 1 year. Like it happened to Kevin Gausman even. So like it happens to all these splitter guys at some point, I feel like. So that's like the one thing that I have concern of. And then also like the way he throws, because he's so over the top that I'm like, man, he's going to have shoulder problems in the future, I feel like. But a 172 JA ERA, 37% CSW. And I just love these swinging strike rates across all these pitches, like 23 on the cutter, 27 on the changeup, 29 on the slider, 34 on the splitter, just freaking ridiculous. 12 inches of vertical movement on the fastball from a ridiculous release point. So everything about Savage is just insane. The only reason he's not higher is because like I really like Chase Burns and I really like Nolan McLean. So he's my number 3 starter out of starting pitchers. I guess actually number 4 to Tommy White. I've got Thomas White ahead of him. So I guess he's my 4th pitcher based on that. But 3rd out of these 3 like triple-headed monsters that are going to be debuting this year that debuted last year but are still prospects. So what do you got on Yesavage?
I still like calling him Savage. Is that not his name? Like, come on now.
I have trouble saying his name because I don't know if it's Savage or Yes. I don't know how he says it. I want to hear him say it.
Just call him Yay. I don't think anyone else has done that before. I mean, obviously he's a dog out there, got it done in the playoffs, but not a but. Like, let's just say, in addition to that, and having a great build and like probably a great future as a starting pitcher, he's still really young, and I think that the hype is probably out of control in some leagues, especially with Jays fans around. I'd love to move this guy if I had him. He's just. There's going to some rough patches are coming, which we haven't seen yet at the major league level. He's going to go walk some guys and let off a bomb, and then it's going to be a couple of weeks of that, or something will happen, right? And he'll get hurt maybe, and the value will plummet. It was all a mirage, and it's like no, he is good, but there's going to be highs and lows here, in my opinion. So. Hey, who knows? Maybe he's just a stud from now on out. One of the best pitchers in baseball. I think he's being viewed as like a can't miss, will always be good from this point on kind of thing. Like he's already elite because of where he got, he helped get them to in the World Series. So great pitcher, excited, but I would certainly be fielding offers because I think you can get a haul for Trey Savage right now.
Yeah, for sure. Just nasty stuff. Yeah, if you can get a ridiculous amount for him, you've got to, just because of the value, especially if you can trade him to a Canadian. Because if you have a Canadian, they're going to overpay the crap out of it for him in the league. Yeah. So that is the podcast. Toronto Blue Jays finishing up here strong with team 30 out of 30. Next week we're going to get started into some redraft prospect stuff, and we're also going to be talking. We'll do a system rankings of the top of the 30 teams. We're not going to go into individual prospects really on them, but we're just going to talk about like who has the most top prospects and this and that. So that's what we're looking forward to on MLB Data Warehouse. Make sure that you follow Doc at Doc Eisenhower. Follow me at Fantasy Aceball. Subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse so that you can play with all the fun tools and stuff yourself. You also will get my top 150 rankings on John's app that he created, or for $29.99, or for you can do both for $21.99. You can get all my rankings of all my prospects, and you can also get my redraft rankings cheat sheet. You can get my 3-year dynasty cheat sheet and my 5-year dynasty cheat sheet. And it has all the F scores and stuff on there, and they're spreadsheets, so you can always move your own guys. If you're like Tim's ranking of this guy sucks and you want to move him up and down, but you still want the F scores, you can do that. It's really nifty. A lot of people like it. A lot of people have paid for it so far. So check that out. Only $29.99, less than a friggin' lunch nowadays. So less than a couple of double Big Macs or whatever, because McDonald's is raking people on cheeseburgers nowadays for cheap cheeseburgers. So Doc, you got anything else on the way out?
Yeah, man. Just turn off this cancer kid commercial you have going here. It's making me sad. But you should donate to St.
You
Jude's.
savage.
So you should donate to St. Jude's. So just to make up for that, Lord, it's actually probably the best charity out there. They get me on the cancer kid stuff every time. So that's right, folks. Donate to St. Jude's. It's just like a crazy. This is a good podcast. It got good. It got better in the second half.
After you subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse, use your leftover money to donate to St. Jude's. I know John will recommend that first. That donate to St. John's.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, peace out, everybody.